Hey y'all, John here from Second Chance Composting. I'm just tipping some food scraps, so thought you might want to see how this works. I mean, there's nothing to it. You take the thing. I feel like this doesn't really need to be explained. You just dump it. That's it. You know, I let the bucket drain out a little bit to get all the juices in there and stuff. And I used to use liners in the bag, in the buckets, but these compostable liners aren't really compostable. So they are, but they're not. It's very confusing to really know about it. But basically, they do compost, but they compost at a slower rate, and you can't tell if they're real plastic or compostable plastic. So it actually creates more of a problem than anything. So we did use them in the summer to help with smells. Well, not smells, I'm sorry, to help with cleanliness of the buckets. Because see these buckets now? I'll have to clean these out with some sawdust and then bring them home and wash them, which I would wash them anyway, even with the liner in there. So the liner would always just kind of be a big mess because I can't compost in a normal pile, so I have to keep it in a different area, and it's become a big mess. Plus, it's a cost for me. Not much, but I mean, these things add up. So once the winter hit, I knew that what happened is they would freeze. The liners would freeze with the food scraps, and again, I can't compost the liner, so I'd be pulling frozen liner off of food scraps, which would just be a total mess. So the way I do it now is, this is my second week doing it like this. I just dump it, and I will clean these here with some sawdust just to get the main crutch out, and then I will additionally clean them when I get home. So see, there's the mess that's in there. See the liquid and stuff? So I like to leave these so that they drain. And I always do it into the spot where I'm going to process it, because if not, I'm gonna attract animals and stuff with the smell. So the liners, all my research said don't use them, or if you do, keep it minimal. If you're an organic farm, you can't take them. Again, they only break down in certain situations. They take much longer to break down. They're confusing because you don't know. I mean, my customer base is still pretty, I won't say small, but a manageable size to where I actually know all my customers by name and everything. So if there was some sort of issue, I could easily get a hold of them and talk to them. But as you grow and expand, you're going to be working with people that you don't see all the time, that don't know you, that don't quite understand composting. That's a full one. And people would use, who knows, people might use real plastic thinking it's okay. And the problem is, too, at the compost site itself, like where we are here now, when you expand, when you get bigger, you won't be able to tell, when those are in the pile, you won't be able to tell if it's real plastic or fake. So you won't be able to tell if it's real or compostable plastic, which creates a real big issue, because if it's real plastic, it's got to get out of there. And not only that, it tangles up food in it and suffocates it to the point where it suffocates it. It's not living. What is living, but not in that way. But basically, it starves it of the oxygen that it needs to compost. See, look at, got some junk in there. starves of the oxygen it needs to compost and creates issues. Like I said, it gets tangled up, problems arise. So I avoid them now. I think we kind of ran this as a trial for the winter because we had no choice. I wasn't using compostable bags and having them freeze. So right now we're not using them at all. And I think we will perfect our system so that come the warm weather, we won't have to bother with them at all anyway. Because honestly, they're just a nuisance. They a lot of times they fall down in the bucket and they're not really covering it anyway, or there's a cost to us. And then look, what do we do with this? I'm not putting it in our compost pile, so I have to do something else with it. And it smells, and these smell too, but I can clean them. So we just avoid them at all costs now, and I think it's going to work out once we really get our system down over the winter. Come spring, warm. I mean, it's so much better. It's just cleaner, less, honestly, time too. It takes a lot of time. If you got 25 buckets, you got to line in the morning. I line everything the day before. The night before I get the truck ready, I get everything ready to go. I line everything. I get the truck all loaded up. I get all our buckets ready. But the thing is, if you are lining 25 of those things one day a week, you have to take each bag out, put it in, cap it. You don't think it's going to take much time, but you don't make a lot of money picking up residentially, first of all. So you really have to make it worth your time. And doing that for 25 of these things, that's working one day a week. Imagine if we were doing it 5 days a week, how much time that would take up. It's not worth it to do it. So that's our take on that. My hand's freezing. It's December. We're in the woods in Vermont, and the wind is blowing, and I need to put my glove on. Thanks for watching. Happy composting.